Boys don't have to pay for the fare?
No,
Proud Boys
special.
don't have to pay for the
We're
fare?
special, thank you.
You don't have to pay for the fare. Wow.
Appreciate it from your tax.
Proud Boys don't have to pay for the fare.
Thank you.
That is insane. Proud Boys don't have to pay for the fare.
What you just watched was members of the NYPD escorting Proud Boys through the emergency exit at a subway station. Now, the Proud Boys are a hate group, and just before this video, they were protesting outside a drag queen story hour.
Proud Boys, conservatives, and white supremacists showed up to protest a drag story hour event at Jackson Heights Public Library in Queens, New York. However, pro-LGBTQ+ supporters, many of which Jackson Heights locals, greatly outnumbered the white supremacists and protected the drag story time.
And you could think what you want about drag queen story hours, but ultimately these have become the epicenter for the culture war, and hate groups like the Proud Boys have been showing up to disrupt these events. Look, if you don't like these, if you don't think these should happen, just stay home. Don't attend. Who cares? How does that affect you? For a group that claims to care a lot about individual liberty and freedom, they sure do take a lot of interest in what other people are doing with their free time. I don't really understand the energy around it beyond that they just hate people who are different. Because ultimately it just seems to be that the opposition can be reduced to they hate people who don't conform to societal norms. If someone wants to dress in drag, who cares? How does that affect you? Just like their issues with trans people. How does that affect you? How does what anyone else does with their life affect you, somebody else? It doesn't. This is ultimately rooted in hate. And that's what makes this video so frustrating. Because you're seeing this hate group, fresh on the heels of trying to disrupt an event, get special treatment from the NYPD. And that's the same NYPD that has arrested thousands of people over the past several years for fare evasion. We hear time and time again from New York officials that fare evasion costs the city tons of money, and the only adequate response to fare evasion is fining them or arresting them. And we've seen videos of NYPD officers assaulting people for jumping the gate. Where was that same treatment here? Here, they opened the emergency door so the Proud Boys could just walk through, and then when someone filming them tried to walk through, they said she had to go around and pay the fare.
Son, I just need you to go out.
Oh, I have to pay for the fare, but they don't?
Right.
Is that the situation you're saying?
That's correct.
And people have been pointing out for a very long time that there is a big overlap between the police and hate groups. There have been repeated warnings, deep investigations, thorough reports, and so much more showing just how sympathetic the police are to white supremacist and hate groups. In some instances, members of the police departments are also members of those same groups. And when you look at it that way, there's no real surprise here. This is just par for the course with the police. And to continue down that train of thought, it's no surprise that black and brown New Yorkers are disproportionately arrested for fare evasion than white New Yorkers, because those same cops over-police subway stations in black and brown majority neighborhoods in New York. So it's the same vicious cycle just playing out. And now we have it on camera. And this ultimately underscores the problems with police. They aren't there to serve and protect. They're there to represent white capitalist interests. They're there to protect the privileged class. From broken windows policing to giving hate groups a pass to police brutality. All of this is connected, and nothing will change until we truly tackle the problem with policing in society.